Well, good morning again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And before we get to the JRC, a real quick disclaimer. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, all pertinent links are going to be right there in the description box for you. Should you like to do a deep dive on either subject, you should be definitely able to go ahead and do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity, and when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got a young child present that is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is advised. Now we are about to read the comment from the Pennsylvania Developmental Disabilities Council, which is probably somewhat similar to what we call out here the Southwest PAC, which is actually a committee of folks that make decisions in regards to things like Medicaid funding and what programs it needs to go to in order to bolster. I know this because I used to be one of the constituent reps that was on the Southwest PAC committee. So this is a similar one out in Pennsylvania. Let's go ahead and read the comment here. To whom it may concern, the Pennsylvania Developmental Disabilities Council engages in systems change, advocacy, and capacity building to improve health, educational, social, and economic well-being of all people with developmental disabilities and their families. Again, very similar to Southwest PAC. They deal with a lot of the funding. They also look into innovations, what's new in medical circles in regards to treatments. It's a multifaceted committee. Let me go ahead and continue here. Established by the Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act, also known as the DD Act. I'm very familiar with the Disability Bill of Rights, by the way. I may actually need to do a series on that at some point. Considering our current administration, we need to know what rights we've got left. And the governor's executive order, the council promotes advocacy, systems change, and capacity building and serves as a planning group and a funding body. Exactly. We empower individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to help shape policies that impact them. PADDC supports and promotes self-determination, integration, and inclusion, not only for Pennsylvanians, but for all persons with the developmental disabilities. We write to provide comment on banned devices, proposal to ban electrical stimulation devices for self-interest or aggressive behavior proposed rule. In the United States, one facility implements a behavior modification technique defined by the United Nations, the UN, as torture. The fact that we are still having this conversation after that was declared back in 2013 should disturb you. It should really disturb you. We have two separate UN special rapporteurs on torture that reached out to the Bush administration and the Obama administration to have federal entities do a deep investigation of the JRC. We got bupkis, alright? So anyone who wants to tell me, oh, it's just the Republicans, no it isn't. It's everyone. And if you must know, yes, that is indeed what has radicalized me. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, located in Canton, Massachusetts, is a day and residential institution for persons with disabilities. Thank you for using the word institution instead of school, because that's what it is. It's what it is. Okay? You see, I know the difference between an actual true residential school, like Rivendell, for example, although some come just for the day programs and live out here in the city. It's an institution, okay? Call it a school all you want to, but if it quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, it's probably a duck. That might sound crazy to you all, but I'm just go with me here. Generated by the GED, the electric shocks are very painful and can cause burns. including second and third degree. If you want to, again, pull up the Andre McCollins case, you can find it right on Autistic Hoya's massive archive, which we have linked right there in the description box. You don't ever have to just take my word. I always provide source material. In addition, this therapy can instill fear, cause those who have experienced electric shock treatments to be scared and stressed. And folks, let me be clear here. Especially when we're younger, we're already scared and stressed because we are born into a world that is not built for us, which has its own obstacles. The JRC's like, you know what we should do? Take that and turn it to 11. Another potential significant impact is a potential to develop mental health disabilities such as anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. For 47 persons with disabilities, this inhumane therapy is considered reasonable and acceptable treatment during the day-to-day operations of the JRC. I love the air quotes. Therapy. Hit them again. Hit them for me. The goal of aversive therapy is to reduce and eliminate behaviors that are considered self-injurious and or aggressive. Problem with that is we have actual copies, thanks to Jennifer Masumba, of those so-called behavior contracts. And guess what? You find out real quickly that not only is the GED device not a last resort, it's the first resort over not wanting to remove your coat. Can somebody explain to me, like I'm 3, how that's considered aggressive behavior? Just putting it out there. Behaviors such as standing up. Thank you, yes, what we were just talking about. Swearing and choosing to keep a coat jacket on, hand flapping, noise movements attributed to their disability, and possibly screaming in pain while being shocked could merit a shock. But your muscles tense, so we gotta shock you again. Yeah, muscles tensing when having electricity shot through that is a natural reaction that cannot be controlled. It's not aggressive or defensive. It's your body reacting to being shot full of electricity. Okay? It's not aggressive. It's involuntary. It's what happens when you shoot that much electricity through a human body. To then say, well, that shows a sign of aggression, we need to shock them more. Oh, they scream, do it again. And we're supposed to believe you're not monsters. Are you for real? Good God. I don't even know what else to tell you on that one. In contrast to the JRC's aversive techniques, positive behavioral programs have been successful for many people with developmental disabilities in decreasing and ending self-injurious or aggressive behaviors. Last time there was a study on this, we were looking at 86% of a success rate. Now, especially when you are talking about us, that is a pretty high mark. But the device works 100% of the time to cause us torture and not actually provide any long-term results. Yes, we know. Let me continue. Beginning with the functional behavioral assessment. Yes! Yes, underline it. Put it in all caps. Full functional behavioral assessment is essential. 100% essential if you want to get your kid into a program that is actually going to address the issues they need addressed. It's crucial. Otherwise, you're playing Russian roulette with your child's health care. It provides the pertinent information to help parents make a decision on what type of program or treatment is going to best work and address their kids' specific issues. Because not all autists have the exact same issues, and even when we do, we don't always have them in the same way as one another. It's like a thumbprint. Each version of autism that each of us has is different from one another. let me go ahead and continue here. To determine the underlying causes of self-injurious and aggressive behaviors, thank you. If you don't get to the root, you're not going to solve the problem. A multifaceted behavior plan is developed. Exactly, and that's usually done in concert. You have the social worker, you have the advocacy specialist, that was me. That was my official capacity. I was the advocacy specialist. You have the social worker, the advocacy specialist, direct care staff aren't in there. If there's a guardian that is involved, they're usually a part of that as well, to help after the assessment to determine with the information the assessment provided what is going to work best for the child. That is how the service system should work when it's doing things correctly. I can't overstate how important that full functional behavioral assessment is in regards to choosing proper treatment. It cannot be overemphasized at all. It is crucial. Pharmacotherapy can also be a therapeutic aspect of the plan, customized to the needs of the person. This is why you gotta have an open line of dialogue with your doctors. You just can't take their words as gospel. Talk to them about the medications they're giving you. Tell them if it's overwhelming you and making you zombie-like. I did. Now I have medicine that actually works. Right? But they just want to drug you and put you into a coma. No, that's what happens when you teach a whole society that doctors are damn near omnipresent and omnipotent. They are not. If you don't have that open dialogue with your doctor, especially in regards to medications, yeah. You gotta be more involved. Question your doctors. Tell them if you are having side effects from the medication that are worse than the actual cure. Or guess what? They can't fix a problem they don't know exists. Basic common sense 101. Moral and ethical obligations to protect others from any form of physical or psychological harm, especially those who are the most vulnerable, is everyone's responsibility. The PADDC supports every effort to protect persons with disabilities from all forms of abuse. That's what it is, folks. No matter how you try to paint it, it's abuse and torture. PADDC supports the proposed rule banning the use of electric shock devices, including GED, for behavioral modification. Further, PADDC recommends an immediate end to the torturous practice of electric shock therapy, rather than implementing a 180-day transition plan for anyone currently on a treatment plan that includes electric shock therapy. That means not 180 days from now, before something else happens and we get fucked over again. On that kind of depressing note, we're going to go ahead and close out, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Of course, folks, please don't forget to hit the comments. Make sure you're still set up for notifications as well. We are still continuing down the rabbit hole and the snake oil salesman series. We don't want you to miss anything. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea absolutely do. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone. Excuse me while I fight with my mouse.